Well, hello guys and welcome back to Mr. G Physics. Here Mr. G, and this time we're going to be making another video for the grade 12. This time is a very short video. We're going to be talking about combustion reaction, and we're going to focus in on the combustion of the hydrocarbon. But if you didn't subscribe, don't forget to subscribe so you can get the notification of all the videos I post on regular basis. So we're going to focus on the combustion of hydrocarbons, and during the combustion reaction, these hydrocarbons are going to react with oxygen. Alright, and then they are going to form water plus carbon dioxide plus energy. That happens during combustion. Okay, it's quite simple because this is always going to be the product. That is always going to be the product. And then this one is always going to be the reactant. It doesn't matter which hydrocarbon you use, you will always have to add oxygen, and in the product you will always get water, carbon dioxide and energy. And because you are releasing energy, this is an exothermic reaction. This is an exothermic reaction because energy is being released here. Alright, so this is not the problem. This is the first part of oxidation reaction. Is quite simple. The trick part could be when you get now a equation and you have to balance. Okay, so let's look at one example here. Let's go to the example of methane for instance, the easiest one. CH4 is going to burn in oxygen. It's going to go through combustion and it's going to produce H2O as well as carbon dioxide, CO2 and energy. Alright, so that is the reaction. If you do that, you can get 1 mark and 1 mark. 1 for the reactant, 1 for the product. Okay, and now we are going to balance. Now, when you balance this one, it's quite simple. You are going to leave oxygen for last. Okay, so we're going to start counting here from left. We have carbon is 1 carbon on the left hand side in the reactant, and there's 1 carbon in the product, so carbon is balanced. Hydrogen, you have 4 hydrogen in the reactant and only 2 hydrogen in the product. You can see it right there. So what we are going to do, we're going to place a 2 at the front. We are going to multiply 2 by 2 is 4, so hydrogen is now balanced. Okay, however, remember these numbers at the front will affect everything. So these 2 affect the hydrogen, but these 2 also affect the oxygen. Okay, so now if we count, on the left hand side we have only 2 oxygen, but on the right hand side we have 2 oxygens on this one plus 2 oxygen there. So in actual fact we have 4 oxygen. So when you get this one, you have to multiply by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then we have 4 and 4. Let's write the clean reaction, the final clean reaction. And then we get CH4 plus 2 O2 will give 2 H2O plus CO2 plus energy. There we go, and this one is the balance equation. Okay, let's look at another example. And this time we're going to work with butane. It's C4H10. That is butane. Let's write the name here. Butane. The name is not important right now, but it's always important to record. Plus oxygen. And this one will give you H2O plus CO2 plus energy. Okay, so you always going to leave oxygen for last, and the rest of the molecules should be easy. Carbon, for instance, we have 4 on the left hand side in the reactant. We are going to write the 4 at the front in the product. So now we have 4 carbon. Hydrogen, we have 10, and we have only 2 on the right hand side. We are going to write a 5 at the front because 5 times 2 will give me 10. So now we have the carbon and the hydrogens balanced. The problem is the oxygen. So we're going to count how many oxygen we have in the product, and then if we count, we have 5 oxygen plus 4 times 2 is 8 oxygen. If you note here, this one is 4 oxygen. This one is 4 oxygen. Okay, so if we add this one, we have 13 oxygen. So easy. What we are going to do, we are going to write 13 divided by 2 in the left hand side. 13 divided by 2 in the left hand side, because 13 divided by 2 multiplied by the 2 of the oxygen will give me 13. And guys, all we have to do is to eliminate that fraction. How are we going to do that? We are going to multiply everything by 2, and then that fraction will go away. So what will the final answer be after you multiplying everything times 2? You have 2 C4H10 plus 13 times 2 divided by 2 is 13 O2. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10, 10H2O. 4 times 2 is 8, 8CO2 plus energy. There we go. And then the equation is balanced. You can always check and recalculate to make sure you do have in actual fact the correct number. Okay, but this one is now balanced. And that's it. So maybe we can look at one last example, and this time we're going to use, for example, a carbon that have, or a hydrocarbon that have 6 carbon, and that one will be A14. For example, this one react with oxygen, will produce H2O plus CO2 plus energy, right? That is the first part of the reaction, and you already will get 2 marks for writing the whole reaction. It's quite simple. Now we balance everything, and then the oxygen. So carbon we have in 6 on this side, we have in 1, so we're going to write the 6 at the front there. Okay, we go to hydrogen, and in hydrogen we have 14 on the left hand side, we have only 2, so we're going to write a 7 at the front. So the hydrogen is now balanced, but the oxygen is a different story. If we go to the right hand side to the product, we have 7 oxygen on this point here, and then we have 6 times 2 is 12. So if we add this one, we get that we have 19 oxygen. Alright, so what we are going to do, we are coming back here to the reactant, and we write 19 divided by 2. Always we do that one. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. And then to eliminate that 19, we multiply everything times 2. Okay? And if you do that, the final answer is going to be 2 C6H14 plus 19 O2. The other sign is 7 times 2 is 14 H2O plus 12 CO2 plus energy. And guys, this is the reaction. We are done. This is the end of this video. I hope you understand. It's quite simple. It's important. There will be minimum 3 marks for this one in the exam, and sometimes they like to combine with stoichiometric and do some calculations here. But this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped. I'll see you next time. Mr. G